The issue she had, she had pressure, and she also had diabetes. But with the diabetes, it took time before she was rightly diagnosed. And actually, she was diagnosed with diabetes after she had suffered a stroke. Now, the people who have it don't want to talk about it because sasa utaanza kunionea huruma, utaanza treat differently. And I want you to treat me the same way I am. I am a human being still. And I'm controlling and managing my condition. And that is why I like using the word warrior.
Does the ministry or these counselors, don't you think there's a need? They should be out there now. What you're doing is supposed to be done by them.
Exactly. And a lot of people, when we meet with them, especially in Isiolo, they tell us, you're doing, unafanya kazi ya serikali. But if nothing is being done, how can we just sit down and you have all this information?
Hello viewers, this is Lucy Mworia Network, and today we have a guest from all the way from Isiolo County with some different kind of experience. We've been talking to doctors, we've been talking to policymakers. Today we want to talk to real people about the experiences of some of the diseases, what we hear about but we know nothing about. And on the bench today we have Robert Onyango, who is an NCD warrior and a secretary of the people living with NCD in the county of Isiolo.
Yeah.
Robert.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So how is Isiolo?
Isiolo is good.
Yes.
Yes, so we are still working on the NCDs.
Thank you. We are glad you are here.
Thank you.
Now you are here to talk about NCD.
Yes.
A lot of our viewers, even the educated ones, they hear NCD.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to tell us what is NCD and the abbreviation, whatever it is, and you can give them maybe examples of what NCD is.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. NCD stands for non-communicable diseases. These are diseases that cannot be transferred. They are mainly gotten, or risk factors that are associated with it is maybe genetics, and also a lifestyle, also sometimes with environmental factors that comes by. These are diseases like cancer. We have diabetes. We have chronic respiratory diseases such as asthma. We also have hypertension and even mental. So yes, depression and all these other ranges. So this is the area that we will be tackling on. I am not a doctor, but I am an educator for NCDs, and it is something that I'm very passionate about because of things that we will discuss more further.
Thank you, Robert. At least you have clarified you're not a doctor,
yes.
But like I said, he's a warrior,
yes.
Meaning that he has lived with that NCD, the disease. He is not a victim, but he has lived with asthma since he was a little boy, and now he's a grown man. He was taken care of by the mother, by the parents, until he gotten to a point of taking care of himself and now taking care of others. Can you tell us a little bit of your journey? Although I know you are not brought here today by your story.
Yes. So a little bit.
How was it when you grew up?
Yes, a little bit about myself. I grew up with asthma. When growing up in Isiolo, it was not that much developed. And the diagnosis that I used to get was it is allergy. So with allergy, you are told stay away from this and this and this. Maybe dust will cause this, perfumes will cause this. So I tried to avoid these kind of things and use the medications that were provided. But at some point, maybe after like Form 1, Form 2, I got diagnosed with asthma and given proper treatment. This is when now I was able to fully manage the condition.
By yourself?
Yes. because now you understand exactly what needs to be done, and you get regular checkups as well. So for this, I was able to live with it. It is a condition that you can manage and live with it comfortably and work and be productive.
So when you say asthma, is you were born with it, or
Yeah.
since you were small, you found yourself having asthma?
Yeah.
From what maybe you've learned from doctors, is it an hereditary condition, or what is it? How does it develop? What causes it?
Okay. Some of the chronic or respiratory diseases, you will find that they come from maybe the things that we breathe. If you're working in a toxic environment, in terms of, let's say, dust or fumes, you tend to start having these kind of conditions. These are conditions that can affect the quality of your lungs. Now, there are ways of maintaining this, but prevention is better than cure, right? So avoiding these type of situations helps in the long run in how you manage your situation.
But I'm asking, in a case where you were born with it,
yes,
could it be, is it like maybe your mother was in those environments?
Okay.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Or how did it come about? How do you just, from a little boy and little baby, and you are having all those conditions, you are told it?
Okay. For me, my mom had it. Yes. So, but for her, it was not that serious.
So it can be inherited.
Yes, it can.
Oh, okay.
It can be inherited, and also you understand the weather in Isiolo.
Yeah.
If you have that,
Right.
if you have that gene, and there's a lot of, let's say, air pollution through dust and all this, you tend to develop this kind of issues that will affect you.
So from your understanding,
yes.
So, or whatever you've learned from doctors, I'm
yes.
sure if you have it, chances are even your child can have it.
Yes, your child can have it.
Through genes.
Through genes as well.
Because you said it's not communicable, right?
Yes, it is not communicable.
Yeah.
But genetic is one factor that can cause this. So even if you have that gene, you can live for a very long time without even manifesting the symptoms. If you are living well, if you are living in a good environment and all these other things. Because these other factors can greatly boost the severity of the condition. Yes. So for me, let's say asthma, my asthma was not the main part that brought me to advocacy for NCD. For NCD, when it really hit me was when my mother had pressure and also had.
So, as from secondary, you were able to manage?
Yes, I was
until you
comfortably.
became a grown man, you came to work in Nairobi.
Yes.
So you started attending clinics and listening to more, reading more about it.
Yes.
You were able to manage.
Yes.
Now you told me that what brought you here is not that because you are able to manage.
Yes.
It's your mom's case.
Yes.
Is it your mom's asthma or what is it about your mom?
No, for my mom, asthma was not that main because it had not developed that. It had not developed much for her. The issue she had, she had pressure, and she also had diabetes. But with the diabetes, it took time before she was rightly diagnosed. And actually, she was diagnosed with diabetes after she had suffered a stroke. Now, when she suffered the stroke, we were referred to Kenyatta.
What do you mean? How long was it that she suffered from diabetes without being diagnosed? Was she going to the hospital or she was just at home?
Yes, she was going to the hospital.
Different doctors?
Different doctors. We went to Isiolo Hospital, General Hospital. We did Meru specialist and all this. But now, you find that you get different views. I remember there is a doctor who said she's imagining it.
She's imagining?
Yes, she's imagining the symptoms. It is mostly the pressure, and when the pressure accumulates in the brain, someone can think of a lot of things. So we could not understand exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But after she suffered the stroke,
That's after how long?
it took some time. We cannot now say definitively,
But it was long.
but it took some time.
Like over a year.
Let's say 6-7 months.
She was taking blood pressure medication.
Yes, she was taking blood pressure. She has it,
Yeah.
and she was rightly diagnosed, and she was taking the medicines.
Yeah. But still she continued having symptoms.
Now, yes, for now this one was for the blood pressure, not the blood pressure, the diabetes. Now with the diabetes, it was not being treated for all this period until now when she had a stroke and we came to Kenyatta. Now once we came to Kenyatta, we were told, okay.
So she's here taking blood pressure medication,
Yeah.
and she's still continuing having other symptoms like
Yes.
fatigue,
Yes.
similar. When she goes to the doctor says this is pressure, the rest you're imagining.
Yes, and
doctor says that?
they can even cancel the medications that she was in and write other prescriptions.
More.
Yeah, maybe stronger. You know now, once you go to the doctor,
Yeah.
whatever they say,
Yeah,
is the law. Yeah, so she struggled through it until when she had now the stroke is when now we came to Kenyatta and we were now told
she has diabetes.
she has diabetes.
She has been having diabetes.
Yes, and her sugar levels are way high. Actually, they're even wondering how she came here walking. So she was given the medications and all this to try and bring down the sugar, that is insulin, and monitored for a day or two, and then now we were referred to the counseling session because now this gives you a complete lifestyle change, especially with stroke involved. Now this is a very dire situation, so we had to do the counseling to understand.
She was paralyzed, like the whole
half of the face.
Half of the face.
Yes. So we went there. We had the, and this is very, very important. The counseling is very, very important, and this is one of the reasons that gave me the motivation to try and do something, even
to others.
Yes, to others in Isiolo, because in Isiolo there is no that kind of support. Now, just imagine if someone is diagnosed with such a condition, and then let's say it's a private, they do not offer the counseling, and then you're told inject yourself this and this and this and this, and then you're told go home.
So she was to inject herself with insulin.
Yes, she had to use insulin. She's still using the insulin, and all these were being covered. Acceptance, how do you accept this? That yes, I have diabetes. You understand there is also social stigma with diabetes. People here, you have diabetes, they know huyu mtu is not.
There is stigma also about diabetes?
Very huge stigma with diabetes, especially in Isiolo.
They think it's your fault?
Not really your fault, but
they're like you can
the disease, not even infecting, but the disease kills a lot of people. So once you have it,
you will die.
You're almost dying. And also, when you don't manage it very well, with blood sugar, you can die even today. Like, it is not a process that takes away from you. It can be instant.
Yeah.
So these kind of things creates that social stigma. Now the people who have it don't want to talk about it because sasa utaanza kunionea huruma, utaanza treat differently.
Yeah,
and I want you to treat me the same way I am. I am a human being still. Yeah. And I'm controlling and managing my condition. And that is why I like using the word warrior. Trying to change that mentality of I am I am a victim.
You're not a victim.
To I am a person who is doing something and managing my conditions, the condition that I have, to live a fulfilling life. So that is what we've been trying to impact to the people.
So your mom goes home now, she has diabetes,
Yeah.
she has a stroke,
Yes.
she has pressure.
Yeah.
And now it was like a total overhaul. The whole family now was involved.
Yes.
Yeah, she has no nurse, she has to do it herself.
Yes.
And none of you actually has any medical background.
No one.
You are not even at home, first of all.
Yeah.
You work in Nairobi.
Yes.
So then, how
So-
did she manage? Was it not risky even to give insulin to herself?
Now, the good thing with the counseling, it was not a one-day thing.
It's a
It was a
process.
process. They'll start you with the education, the acceptance. What is diabetes? How do you come about having diabetes? The lifestyle change, the diets that you need to use, and also the treatments that you can have. You are told this medicine that you're being given, you might take it for the rest of your life. So that now you start accepting. And also you understand that when you're told the process of what you're injecting yourself with, you are told about the pancreas not being able to produce the insulin.
Or even more.
So yes. So now this is why you are given the insulin to inject yourself. This is why you are injecting yourself in the morning and in the evening, maybe in the morning or in the evening. This is why you need to eat a certain type of food, a good diet food. In the morning, maybe in the evening, and the lunch. You need to also carry maybe something when
Special diet.
Yes, when you're traveling, you need to make sure that you've arranged how you're going to eat.
To travel.
Yeah, even for traveling, you cannot just wake up and just travel. This is the dire part of diabetes, I'll say, which my mom has. She plans even when she's coming to Nairobi, she will have her food prepared, and then now she can travel because
definitely.
you don't even know, something can happen along the way, and lunchtime is lunchtime.
Yeah.
You
Ya
need to
hata
take
gari
that
inaweza
food.
kuama kwa
You need to take
barabara.
that food.
Wow.
Yes. So these kind of things helps. The counseling really helps, even the mentality wise of the patient. Once the patient understands that, okay, this is what I need to do, and this does not make me weak, this makes me stronger,
Yeah.
and I can do it. Now that makes it very easy for that person to do it and seek help.
So, and these counselings you are talking about, they only happen after you've already have the disease, or maybe when you already had the stroke, or when you're sick. Does the ministry or these counselors, don't you think there's a need? They should be out there now. What you're doing is supposed to be done by them.
Exactly. This is something that, and a lot of people, when we meet with them, especially in Isiolo, they tell us, you're doing, unafanya kazi ya serikali. But if nothing is being done, how can we just sit down and you have all this information?
So you felt...
So this is something that needs to be done even prior. This is something that needs to be...
Create awareness.
Yes, creating an awareness of this kind. If 50% of people hospitalized have NCD...
50%?
Yes.
And
Why
some of the
should we-
things can be avoided.
Yes. Why should we not create strategies that help even create awareness, create strong support systems for these people who have NCDs, and also with the counseling sessions. With the counseling sessions, we can also have them prior. We can have them in our Kenyan curriculum, because you find that it is
in the education
taught,
system.
Yes, it is taught very little. If this is taught in every level of our education, people will have better understanding of how to improve their daily lives, to avoid these kind of things. And if they find out that they have it, what they can do.
We are busy in our curriculum cramming things which are unrealistic, the tallest mountain in the world, the longest river, but the real life, what people are living with, it's not. So you think if this should have been taught even in school, should come as a curriculum right from primary, because there are a lot of kids there, even there are kids with diabetes.
Yes, actually right now we are doing a training for child NCD. It is a very growing issue. A lot of teenagers are experiencing NCDs. I told you mental is one of them. And with the depression, with the current environment.
Depression is also an NCD. Actually, we'll talk about it today.
We'll talk about it as well. So you find out that a lot of people do not even understand what they have, do not understand the gravity of the situation, and what they can do to help themselves. Because what we push as well is early diagnosis. With early diagnosis, we push for screening, regular checkups. This helps detect these kind of issues when they are still manageable and easy to manage.
So what motivated you to start the NCD organization in Isiolo is because of your mother's case?
Yes.
You just earned a lot of information and you are like, you know what, I would like everyone else to know.
Yeah.
So you went ahead and started the NCD group?
Now, for me it was funny, because when I told my mom, okay, find your friends or find people who would like to have this information, because I already have it, I have the book here.
I would like to share.
I can talk to them. I can explain to them what this is. So we met fisheries, I think you know.
Yeah.
Yes, we met there. We did our first session. They were very, very appreciative with it, and also try meeting each other.
They know I'm not alone.
So we can meet. So we can talk about these things.
Even the stigma reduced now.
These are the medicines that I'm using. These are the medicines that you're using. Now you understand. These are your medicine.
Wow.
Not the other person's medicine. These are your prescriptions.
And there are also young people there.
Yes. Now with the young people.
Yeah, a lot of people think there, they think things like these NCDs, the diabetes, the pressure. It's for the older people.
Exactly. Now with the youth, it was a bit tricky, because with the social stigma I told you, people do not want to be openly talk about these things. So we started with that, and then now once I started looking around for the doctors, nurses, I heard about now the NCD group that was already there. That was actually started by NCDAC. It's an NGO. So they had started the group that we met with.
Yeah.
Yes, and they were doing the trainings. Now they were training them. The NCDAC was training the team. So that is when now I met the chair lady, and she introduced me to the group. She told me, okay, this is where we are doing whatever you're doing there.
So you combined the effort and started training together.
Let's work together. And I felt very, very...
So do you involve doctors and nurses there?
Yes, we do. Well, currently we have... the program is also connected with NCD coordinator. She's a doctor. She has an office in the General Hospital, Isiolo district. So she oversees the programs that we have.
There's something else you told me off camera, that when they meet and they discuss about, oh, I have diabetes, they think they can even share the medication.
Exactly. You know, people come from different backgrounds, and it's unfortunate that the medicines are very expensive and hard to find even. You can go to Isiolo and look for a medicine that you are subscribed to, and you cannot find it. You have the money, you cannot find it. So now, because of lack of this kind of awareness, someone can call the other person, hey,
Their friend.
Yes, they can call their friend. I don't have medicine, nimetafuta nimekosa.
Can you share yours?
No, mimi niko nazo mbili hapa. I can give you one and then tomorrow look for the medicine. But once you try to impact this kind of knowledge, it might seem so trivial, but this help a lot.
So when they share medication, you know, even the dosage is different.
The dosage is different.
But someone thinks they want to help their friend.
Imagine you are prescribed to a medicine for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And at some point you do not have, there is a shortage of that medicine.
Not even the shortage of medicine. The medicine could be there and then you have no money.
And you have no money.
So is this medicine readily, because the NCD is something like, it is automatic, it's not something like an accident that you are looking for these medications.
Yeah.
So we hear a lot of hospitals, we have all medicine from KEMSA, all boxes being dropped there. Do we have these medication available? Are they readily there?
Now this is...
Especially for these diseases that they are already there, they are known.
Now these are the things that we've been fighting for, actually, in Isiolo. Creating awareness is part of what we do. Another part is trying to engage the people, the stakeholders that we have in Isiolo. We're trying to engage the county government in Isiolo to try and create these kind of policies that help ensure.
The county assembly now?
Yes, the county, like previously we had for the other government, we were able to meet with Isiolo County Assembly Health Committee. We were able to give them our ask, our advocacy ask, to try and also something like include us in the county integrated plan.
Yeah.
So that now some funds are allocated to NCDs. You'll find that a lot of counties here in Kenya do not even have an NCD coordinator.
In the government?
Yes.
In the hospital?
Yes.
Because actually literally health is devolved.
Yes. Now you find that even with the counties not having the NCD coordinator, there is a disconnect. There is a big, huge disconnect on the programs that even the people can run, including the
even the so-called CEC or minister, maybe he has no background of health, he may not even understand what you're talking about. Yeah. So that's where you are needed, like you were saying, in the integration.
Yeah. So these are the things that we've been trying to push, trying to have the county also involve people living with NCDs in matters that are affecting health and also decision-making processes. So that now, because we are people who have lived the experience, we understand the how to prioritize these things. If you are looking to solve a solution, it is best to involve people who have gone through it in order for you to understand what needs to be done first, and then the second stage and the third stage, and planning throughout that. Also looking at the tracking record and how do we make sure that if the medicines arrive here, distribution process.
Yeah.
It is so unfortunate that you'll find that the government thinks or knows, or I don't know, but medicines are distributed to the county levels. The medicines are distributed, but you'll find that medicines are not there in the hospitals.
And especially for these very deadly diseases like diabetes. You know, diabetes is either you have the medication or not. Yeah, it's a life thing. It's not an accident. There's no in between.
Yeah.
So with this, how expensive are these medications? The lifetime medications?
The medications are expensive, and you'll find that, especially in Isiolo, people cannot afford this. Even them, you know, with Isiolo, we even...
I know, because you're dealing with a group that you train every day.
Yeah.
So the medication is expensive.
Medication is expensive,
yeah.
But even before you get to the medication, having 3 meals a day.
Oh, it's expensive.
And then now, it's not even having 3 meals in a day.
Even more.
Can you have a balanced diet in a day?
Especially now with the hunger, especially now, especially for the elderly, now that it is like now, people are being given unga or whatever.
The relief.
The relief.
It is very hard right now.
How balanced is that relief? Do they even consider these elderly, the sick people?
Now this is what we are trying to still push. We have a lot of areas that needs to be taken care of in the relief process. Can you look at the NCDs? These are people who are suffering, who need this a lot. Can we prioritize them? These are things that we are trying to talk with the county government, and also push for the national. And our concept is working with the county, trying to change. You know, you can only start from somewhere.
Yeah.
So we are starting with the county, and we are also there's also another team in Vihiga, Kisii, Uasin Gishu, doing the same thing, asking for the same things,
pushing
for this. Now, after this have grown up, we can also push for other counties to do the same.
Exactly.
Yes, and as we are doing that, we create pressure to the government to also look at if the government wants to eradicate poverty, and you're told 50% of people who are hospitalized have NCD, and NCD is very expensive. Now, what do you do to make sure that you can caution that? Because let's say if someone gets cancer, there is a lot of procedures that need to be done, radiation and all these other things. It takes a lot of money. What we are asking for the government is to include the NCDs, to create a comprehensive plan for the NCDs under the NHIF and also these other insurance schemes.
Viewers, thank you for the continued support. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. We have a lot of education on this channel. Today we are talking about NCD and the message from Onyango, and especially from the drought-stricken areas. NCD, diabetes, asthma, blood pressure, those people, those elderly, they are under very special diet. And now Onyango is worried because even when that relief is being given, they do not consider how balanced that diet is, even how the availability for these people. They need to eat like 3 times a day. Not only 3 times, it's supposed to be as often as you can. But now it's not there. What consideration as a government are we making here? Please remember the elderly with NCD, the non-communicable diseases are suffering, especially in those hunger-stricken counties right now.
Yeah.
They need special attention. Onyango, and you look at the camera, talk to our government, both to Isiolo County government where you come from, of which it will be a representation of all the other counties.
Yeah.
What is your expectation for NCD people after you started a movement when you saw how much your mother suffered with wrong diagnosis, and until now she has to give herself with little knowledge of health background.
Yeah.
She now gives herself insulin to the point of even these people borrowing medication from one another.
Yeah.
Talk to our government.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. First, I'll talk to the county government. I believe for Isiolo County, there are some steps that we've already accomplished, having the NCD coordinator position in the hospitals, and also working to have an area dedicated to the NCDs. This will help a lot with the counseling process, medication, and also looking at the doctors who will be there to try and make sure that our people are taken care of. But there is a lot that should be done and can be done. We are pushing for meaningful involvement of people living with NCDs in the decision-making process, so that now we can look at things that needs to be done moving forward, things that needs to be changed. How do we address awareness programs in Isiolo? How do we empower the support groups that we have in Isiolo to make sure that we reach to every other person who has NCD, or even the caregivers? How do we train them? So these are things that we need to look at. Another thing is budget. As much as we have the county coordinator, we need the budget allocation to make sure that these processes are run smoothly. We also need to look at how do we make sure that our schools, our young children, our youths understand exactly what NCD and the repercussions of this, and also prevention. Also, for the county government, we are looking for more screening processes. This we are doing with also urging the stakeholders as well to partner with us to offer more screening, free screening areas and also activities. Now, for the county government, for me, it's very simple. We need to look for a comprehensive package for people living with NCDs under the NHIF or these other insurance schemes. This will help caution the big burden that comes with having NCDs. And if 50% of people in the hospitals have NCDs, this means that we need to work on this urgently. We need to help caution this burden. Another thing is accountability. How do we make sure that people, the medication that is procured, the medication that is distributed actually reaches to the people who are in need of this medication? How do we make sure?
Thank you so much, Onyango. Onyango is talking about NCD, non-communicable diseases, where he says, the statistics says that of half of the people admitted in the hospitals today, they have non-communicable diseases, and these diseases are diseases like cancer, diabetes, blood pressure, the diseases that cannot be infected to somebody else. So we ask, please, we need the understanding of the disease. They want to be involved in the decision-making of the counties, decision-making of the Ministry of Health, because they are living this disease. He is living it. Since he was a little boy, he had asthma. But what brought him here today is when the mother gotten sick, she was misdiagnosed, and now she has to live. She's living with blood pressure. She's living with diabetes, and she has to give herself insulin every morning. She's not trained. She's not a doctor. So we need these things to be looked into. Thank you very much, Onyango, for highlighting this. I hope the people of Isiolo, you've heard, and all the other counties, this information comes to you, the Ministry of Health. Let us please involve people living with NCDs. They are the people who are living their life. So give them an opportunity to manage, to participate on what is directly affecting them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and thank you for the continued support. Thank you very much.